My name is Lena Hart. I'm 32. For years, my family has stared at my life. Penthouse windows, weekends abroad, a sleek car, and tried to make it fit the salary they've decided I earn. At Sunday dinners, my mother would smile and say, "We're only concerned." My father, Graham, didn't smile. He studied me like a spreadsheet. Sure, a discrepancy would appear. My brother Ethan, a litigator, asked the questions. My sister Priya softened them with a hand on my wrist, but the meaning stayed sharp. Who's paying you? I learned the house rule early. Information was ammunition. Ethan's achievements got applause. Priya's got praise. Mine, pure mathematics, made Graham's eyes glaze over. "What will you do with that?" he'd ask, disappointed before I answered. So I stopped talking. I took an analyst job. I negotiated equity. I coded at night. I invested and built a firm no one in my family bothered to notice. Then I made one mistake. I bought something they could see. A penthouse in a Dorman building came on the market. I wanted space that felt like mine, so I wired the money and signed the papers. At the next dinner, Priya asked where I'd moved. I gave the address. Graham's fork froze. "You rent there?" "I bought," I said. "Top floor." His laugh was ice. "On your salary?" "I have other income." "Prove it," he said. "Statements, returns." "No." 2 weeks later, a courier intercepted me in my lobby and handed over a thick packet. Graham was suing me, fraud, laundering, a request to freeze my assets, because the daughter he'd labeled unambitious couldn't possibly be legitimate. I read the complaint twice, then called my lawyer. Devon Chu read the petition, then tapped the first page. "Your father went for the throat," he said. "Asset freeze, bank subpoenas, a 10-year forensic audit." The caption, "Hart v. Hart," looked like a bruise. "Can a judge freeze everything?" I asked. "They can request it," Devon said. "If we don't give context, their story wins on optics." So I did what I'd never done at family dinners. I opened the files. 10 years of tax returns, the SEC registration for Hart pattern strategies, client agreements with names blacked out, and the cap table for Verdict Atlas, the legal tech company I'd joined after a professor pulled me into a consulting call. 30% equity. Graham's lawyers worked fast. Motions hit the docket, subpoenas went to banks, my employer's HR called, cautious. By week 2, a business journal ran a headline about my mysterious wealth, and my face sat beside words like fraud and laundering. My inbox filled with questions. I answered only what I had to, and I kept working. I slept in shards, waking to notifications that felt like fists on my door. 3 days before court, Devon asked, "Who's representing your father?" I read the signature line and felt the world snap into focus. "Richard Morrow," I said. "Morrow and Klein." Devon's gaze sharpened. "They license Verdict Atlas." "And pay for it," I said. In my car, I opened a secure chat and wrote to my fund manager. "Withdraw our capital position in Morrow and Klein. Execute immediately." On hearing day, Devon and I crossed the courthouse plaza with a file box between us. In the lobby, I saw Graham's back. Straight, certain. And I walked past him toward the doors that would make him look at me. Courtroom 3 smelled of coffee. Graham sat beside Richard Morrow, confident. Ethan and Priya sat behind them. My mother twisted a tissue. Morrow called my life impossible on my claimed salary and asked to freeze my assets. Judge Marisol Kwan looked at me. "Miss Hart, do you dispute these expenses?" "No, Your Honor, I dispute the assumptions." Devon stood. "We'll provide context now." He submitted years of returns, SEC filings, audits, and the paperwork for Hart pattern strategies. "Total income last year, $4.6 million, he said. "Taxes paid, no investigations." Graham's chair creaked. Morrow flipped pages, irritation turning to alarm. "Even if filings exist, where does it come from?" Devon placed another exhibit. "Verdict Atlas. Miss Hart holds 30% equity." Morrow sneered. "And?" Devon slid the next page forward. "Your firm's master services agreement. Annual value, $4.2 million. Morrow's phone buzzed. His face went hollow. I kept my voice low. I texted my fund manager before we walked in. We withdrew our capital position in Morrow and Klein. I don't bankroll people who accuse me of felonies. The gavel cracked. Order. Judge Kwan's tone cooled. Motion to dismiss is granted with prejudice. Plaintiff will pay the defendant's fees. In the corridor, Graham reached for me. Lena, You sued your daughter because you couldn't imagine her succeeding, I said. That's it. I stepped back, and he finally heard how small his certainty sounded. That night, city lights pulsed beyond my penthouse glass. I emailed Verdict Atlas. Terminate Morrow and Klein under the 90-day clause. Then I wrote a young mathematician back, yes, numbers can build a life. Guard your work and your peace from anyone who wants proof as ammunition.